There's great chemistry with your co-stars and, with Schwartzman in this film as well. And so I was curious, does that come naturally to you, or is there something that you do at the beginning of these movies, or like, how do you build that rapport?
Yes, I give them each $100,000 when we meet, and a dry martini. No, I just, I think it's really important to. First of all, I've been so lucky in who I've gotten to work with. It's like a miracle. When I was called by my manager, Brian Lehman, to say I could be in a movie with Jason Schwartzman, I absolutely couldn't believe it. And can I tell you something? I still can't believe it. I'm not kidding you. So I've been so lucky. Like Jack Nicholson, I've gotten to work with twice, and Bill Murray, although I must say, I love Bill and I think he's a genius, but I don't think he liked that he got slapped around by my wing so much, because I'll tell you the truth, it was impossible for me to control those wings because he was behind me, in the action scene, and I'm going like this, and I think I probably maybe was rougher than I realized. But I love Bill. I respect him so much. And then we got to work together again on The Dead Don't Die.
Right. Yeah. Which you probably didn't. You probably didn't beat him up as much on that one.
Beat him up at all. Okay. But I guess I don't know. I've gotten to work with so many people that I respect so much. So it's just natural that I have this kind of creative love for them from the beginning. And if I'm lucky, maybe they have a little of it back as we go along. I think that's what it is.
Do you ever are you pretty fearless with working with these people, or what is it like to just?
No, I'm totally intimidated.
Oh, you are?
But I do my best to break through that because you have to, you can't. But I'm totally intimidated by someone like Jack or, Jason or, I don't know, just Bill. I'm intimidated because they are the greats of our time, and I'm fully aware of that.
That's wild. Like, you would never know that watching your performances. So that, I am surprised to hear that.
Yeah. I sort of wish that wasn't the case. I wish I felt more at ease, but I don't. And that's the way it is. So I have to just fight through it.
Well, I'm curious now, too. So for something like this, because, as we said, you've done so much in your career and you've worked with so many amazing people, like, what interests you at this point, or what do you look for in a film at this point?
Okay. Great actors, a great script. If I don't know the actors, but there's a great script, a story that is special. I would say if I had to have a sort of overall word, I would say integrity. In the let's hope that the director and the cinematographer, the writer, the actors are all going in it to do something heartfelt and unique. Not unique, that shouldn't be the goal, but heartfelt. And then it will be unique if it's heartfelt.
Well, you mentioned with this that obviously Jason Schwartzman, but then what else was it? Yeah, when you read this script, like, what really hit you?
It's just a great story because it's a story of rebirth for someone older and for someone younger, his character. And our rebirths depend entirely on each other. And we are given the privilege of elevating each other through the story into achieving what we dream about and love. And what a great story. It's a great story.
Yeah, we don't see those kind of relationships a lot like this in movies, do we? Like, the only thing I can really think of that comes to mind is Harold and Maude or something like that, but we don't see a lot of
Okay, but just let's pause for one segundo to say Harold and Maude. I mean, there's nothing more brilliant or unique than Harold and Maude. So I'm so grateful that you feel some tie in. I know that Nathan Silver, the writer, had that in mind, among other things, when he wrote it. But I mean, I grew up being in love with Harold and Maude. I've
Oh
probably
yeah.
seen it 20 times, right?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like it's one of my favorite films of all time. It's great. Yeah, for sure.
Two great actors, Bud Cort and Ruth Gordon, Hal Ashby, score by Cat Stevens. Unbelievable.
But was that on your mind when you were making it, or like is that something you thought about?
No, you know what? I mean, I guess I was aware that it just the idea that there were two people in opposite stages of life, that felt this love for each other. So I was aware of that, but I try and just focus on what's happening in the story I'm being privileged to tell. Because if I think, okay, I gotta replicate Ruth Gordon. Well, I can't. I mean, I would fail because Ruth Gordon. There's only one Ruth Gordon. Right. So I can't like keep comparing myself or I'll just have to dig a hole and get in it. Right. Because she's so great. Right. But I do have the inspiration of Harold and Maude to see me through. So in that sense, yes, it's on my mind, but I can't try and copy it.
Sure. Yeah. But maybe like tone or just like a feel. Oh, yeah.
Maybe tone. I mean, I don't know. I guess I didn't think too much about other movies. I just thought about this one. And yeah.
What is your process like for preparing for movies? Like, do you have a really set thing? Is it pretty loose or like, how do you approach this stuff?
Well, okay. I have a great teacher. Her name is Marilyn Freed, and she teaches the Strasberg method. So I guess you could say that's the base, my foundation, And but it changes every time because because each one requires a different part of yourself, and I've tried not to be rigid, but it has to fit into this method. I've tried to allow lots of different things to integrate and come out. And in this movie, I had never done a movie that had so much improvisation. I was totally intimidated by that. But so I just had to be very open, and I had the good fortune of being able to trust my director and my co-star and my cinematographer completely. So I was tried to be pretty loose with this one, and just I would say my performance is largely based on looking in the eyes of Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're laughing in the best way, but it's true. I depended on him and I got everything from him.
So that was just so once you looked at him and that gave you the confidence you needed. Is that what you're saying? Or
it gave me the commitment and the freedom that I needed to be because honesty is everything for me in a character, like not to try and decorate the character, just sort of try and be it as much as possible.
I'm surprised to hear you say that you haven't done a lot of improv like in movies. That I would have thought that you had.
Never. Like in what? Nothing.
Well, in Scrooged, I would have thought, Bill Murray seems like someone that would improvise. Or...
Oh, well, there was a little in that. It's true. And the best thing, the fact that Dick Donner, who's so great, he, I had this ballet sequence to introduce my character, and it was meant to be me and a stunt double, real ballerina. So I studied with a dancer named Jillian Hessel, and I learned this dance to try and do my part. And I even got on point, which was not so easy. And I worked so hard to do it perfectly, right? So then it came time to present it to our art director, Michael Riva, who we've since lost, who's a genius. So Julian and I, in a little studio room apart from the stage, showed him this dance. And you have no idea how serious I was in trying to do this beautifully. And fucking, I shouldn't say that, I guess.
You're good.
Michael Riva couldn't stop laughing at what I was doing. And I was trying so hard to do it good, you know. So then he is the reason for how the intro turned out, because he went to Dick Donner and he told him, we got to just do her because it's so fun, which it was not my intention at all.
Right.
I just wanted to, well, and Dick Donner, he just rolled the dice and took a chance on just letting me do it all by myself. There was no stunt double. And I did the best I could, and I made a fool of myself, and it worked for the character. Written by the great Michael O'Donoghue and Mitch Glazer. But so there was that like physical improv, and maybe a little with Bill and me, sure, but not like every emotional scene being improvised on what Nathan calls a scriptation. It's not a script.
Okay, so with this, you improvised everything, like all the dialogue.
No. There was no script, but 1 or 2 or 3 days before we shot each scene, we did get the scene written.
Okay.
And then we went in and we did the scene as written. And then Nathan would say, no, that's not it at all, you know, which is to his great credit. And he would have us just do it again and again and again and again until we got it, in our own words, based very much on the words that he and Chris had written and the structure that was there. But he let us, you know, be free form to a certain extent. And so it was a marriage of scripted and improvised.
Oh, I like that. That's really cool.
I know. It's so cool.
I'm curious too, just for you now, like, is there, you know, you're saying that you've never done improv. Are there other things, like, do you have a bucket list at this point? Are there things that you would like to do in your career that you still haven't gotten a chance to do?
Well, I have to say, and probably this is the bucket list of every actor, I just would give anything in the world to do a movie with Martin Scorsese and yeah. That's is there anything, like, what do you picture? Because, you know, Scorsese can be kind of, you know, he does different stuff. So like, no, I didn't say the complete thought. My mind was what, and Robert De Niro, he's my king. I've gotten to work with many kings. I've gotten to work with Al Pacino frequently. There's a king. But I have never worked with Robert De Niro or Martin Scorsese. So that's what I want to do. And what was your question? I'm sorry.
Well, so like a mafia movie, or what do you picture when you picture working with the two of them?
I picture any damn thing they want to do. Please invite me to the party.
They should. I would be there to watch that. So if this putting it out into the universe makes it happen, I would love to see it.
I guess it's a tacky thing to say, but it's true.
You gotta put it out there, because who knows? Maybe he's watching this, and maybe you're perfect.
That's the bucket list. That's it.
I love it. That's great. You've done everything else, and you've had such an amazing career, and it's such a honor to talk to you. Like, truly.
Thank you. And I worked with John Cassavetes and Gena Rowlands in a play. But that people think that John's work was improvised, but it's not. It's written. But the way he directs is like an improvisation. He gives you this incredible freedom and support. And so that was, if I hadn't done that, that would be big on my bucket list. But I got the privilege of doing it.
Is it true? I heard with Cassavetes that, like, if things work too well, that he liked to throw it out, and he wanted it to be a little challenging. Yeah.
I saw him do it.
Awesome.
Throw it up in the air. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. This was great.
Me too, you. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.